In the far-flung future, humanity has entered the galactic stage. Will humans be able to thrive in the final frontier? Find out on today's video. During the early stages of interstellar travel, the United Nations of Earth sent out dozens of surveyors and colony ships to seed life on other planets. Many of them never to be seen or heard from again. This was the beginning of the era of mankind. Many came to call this the era of mankind because of the sheer amount of colonization that occurred under the banner of the United Nations of Earth. Hundreds of thousands of people from Earth volunteered to embark on colony ships to seek new worlds to call home. This happened so frequently that it ultimately led to the formation of dozens of independent planets, much like the Greek city-states of ancient history. These planets would go on to form their own governments and develop their own cultures and languages. Eventually, humans from these colonies would share very little in common with humans from Earth, save for their genetic DNA. This is where our story begins. Captain Sejdu of the science vessel the ISS Discovery was en route to survey an asteroid belt when they happened upon the ruined ship remains of a United Nations civilian cargo hauler. At first glance, it seemed innocent enough because any mundane accident could have damaged the ship. However, upon further inspection, Captain Sejdu discovered missile shells and plasma coating that were unique to the Elusian Empire. This was certainly bad news. The science crew reported it immediately to Earth. The Elusian Empire was an early human colony that had outgrown itself over the generations. They expanded and conquered several star systems before taking on the title of Empire. In fact, they have developed so quickly that they matched the technological levels of Earth. Ambassadors from the Elusian Empire met with ambassadors from Earth. Both sides attempted to come to an agreement, but none was willing to compromise the interests of their planet. Though they were both humans, each viewed the other as complete aliens. Tensions were beginning to rise between Earth and the Elusian Empire. Earth's War Council saw the inevitable. Without warning, Elusian ships launched a surprise attack. Destroyers and cruisers launched a barrage of missiles and lasers. Starbase defenses were overcome. The starbase was lightly defended, having only a single squad of patrol fighters and one gun platform. The Elusian fleet was brutal in their tactics. Their bombardment viciously punched holes into the hull and shredded the starbase. This caused all inhabitants to be swallowed by the vacuum of space. News of the attack reached UN headquarters and the official declaration of war was called. The Elusian fleet was on the move. They rampaged across 6 star systems before finally bumping heads into the UN fleet. Leading the UN fleet was Admiral Al-Hazmi with 2 cruisers, 7 destroyers, and 12 corvettes. Spearheading the attack on the opposing side was Admiral Krutov with 4 cruisers, 8 destroyers, and 16 corvettes. The opposing fleets met each other head-on in a pitched battle for the solar system. Admiral Al-Hazmi recognized his disadvantage in numerical strength, so he gave the order to remain at a defensive distance. Admiral Krutov, on the other hand, quickly closed the gap. Krutov's plan was simple. His corvettes would swarm the UN fleet. His destroyers would pick off stragglers. Meanwhile, the cruisers would bombard them with long-range nukes. Both fleets engaged in intense battle. Each side seemed to hold their positions. The Illusion ships unleashed a volley of photon beams, and the UN fleet returned fire with their plasma cannons. Admiral Krutov ordered his destroyers to envelop the UN fleet and perform an encirclement maneuver. Al-Hazmi ordered his cruisers to secure the flanks and engaged the destroyers head-on. The UN cruisers decimated the Illusion destroyers. Their superior plasma cannons tore through the ships in a matter of minutes. Krutov saw this as an opportunity to destroy the UN capital ship once and for all. Krutov ordered his cruisers to focus fire on Admiral Al-Hazmi's flagship. The SA Kraken advanced towards the ISS Argentina. Krutov sent a barrage of nukes at the Argentina until the nuclear warheads finally drained their shields. Once Al-Hazmi's shields were depleted, Krutov unleashed a devastating assault of photon beams. He was met with an equal barrage of plasma from the UN flagship. Unfortunately for the ISS Argentina, the depletion of their shields meant they took the full brunt of the attack. The UN flagship was obliterated in a blaze of glory. The UN admiral had fought till the bitter end, and the United Nations of Earth was brought to heel. The sheer numerical advantage of the Illusion fleet overwhelmed the Earthlings. With the defeat of the Earthling fleet, the Illusion Star Empire launched an invasion on Earth. Though Earth fought valiantly, they were eventually overtaken by the invaders. With the invasion of Earth successful, the Illusion Star Empire had usurped their parent civilization. Such irony that the very colony ships that Earth had embarked across the galaxy were the same ones to cause their own destruction. Alas, humanity was wiped out by humanity. The tribal nature of humans may never be overturned. No matter how developed or how advanced humanity may become, war will always remain the same, and humans will always be human.